What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight... Oh, wow. We have not done these guys in a while. We're coming back to Galneryus. Yes, indeed. Galneryus Fans FEELIN YOU. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbity-boobity bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Sean, and Sean wanted to see me react to this song by Galnerius called Still Loving You. Now, have I heard this song before? Well, if I don't know if this is a cover. They may be doing a cover of the Scorpions tune Still Loving You, but I very seriously doubt it. So I'm gonna go on a limb here and say no, I haven't heard this song before. Now, look, if it turns out that it is a cover of the Scorpions song Still Loving You, then yes, I have heard it. We're going to kind of play this one by ear, but no matter what, if I start listening to this and I recognize it, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. We had a little bit of a problem with this. The original link that Sean gave me, unfortunately, that video is no longer available. So I took a gamble. I put Galnerius Still Loving You into the search bar on YouTube, and this was the first video that popped up. So that's the first video I grabbed. This video was posted by JMusicFree. Okay. And the video has 1,200 views. Well, there you go. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Galnerius, Still Loving You live. 1080p 60. Cool. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Something tells me this isn't the Scorpions song. guitar solo. I can finally take a pause. So many solos. It wasn't just solos. There was also some unison work in there before the solos even started. There was those unison lines that, all three of them were doing together, bass, guitar, and drums. They were all doing them. So, I didn't want to step on any toes. So I decided just to take the chance. It's been a while since I've had these guys on the channel, but we pretty much picked off right where we left off. Excellent musicianship. I mean, these guys all clearly know how to play their instruments well. Nice grooves. Some really nice subdivision work. Chordal progressions all sound good. They make perfect sense. Not 100% predictable. They've taken their chordal progressions in some directions that I didn't quite see coming. So predictability is out the window. Musicianship, like I already said, top notch. Vocals sound great. Honestly, I got no complaints about this at all. From a musicianship standpoint, everybody's doing just fine. From a songwriting standpoint, everything's just fine as well. So let's get back into this. Let's finish it up, and we'll get to the review. Want to get us some lines? Okay. My guess would be right from there, they go right into the next song. Yeah. We seriously, it's been a while since we've had them on, but we seriously picked up and just picked right up where we left off, and it was as if no time has been missed at all. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Galneryus with a tune entitled Still Loving You. This was a request from Sean. Okay. First of all, big sigh of relief when I heard that this was not a cover of the Scorpions song, Still Loving You. Number one, I couldn't really envision them doing that. I mean, I'm sure they're fully capable I'm sure they are more than capable of covering that song, but it really would not fit their style. It really wouldn't. You know, I just don't see that happening. I see something, you know, maybe if they're going to do a cover, maybe do a Racer X cover or something like that. But I just couldn't see them doing a cover of a Scorpion song, especially Still Loving You. So I'm glad to see this was not the case. This was an original. As such, I did not recognize it, so it's going to get the full treatment. So let's get to the score, and we'll talk about everything that led up to that score. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that an 8.8. Yep, 8.8. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, an 8.8. What does that mean? Well, an 8.8 would translate to a great skill rating because overall I think this was a great tune. It would also get 4 to 5 stars and an A letter grade. So there you go, an 8.8, great skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and an A letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? Ha ha ha! So glad you asked. Okay, as always, when it comes to this band, there are 3 very specific things that really kind of define this band, and they're, how should I put this? They're very consistent. I'll just put it like that. It's always very consistent, these 3 things. Number 1, musicianship. Okay, and I'm gonna just come out straight out and say it. In my opinion, their musicianship, their talent, their ability to play and sing, that is absolutely their strongest point. Okay, they are great musicians, fantastic musicians, very talented, and it's demonstrated. It's absolutely demonstrated. Their ability to play on every song I've heard from them has been up here. Okay, I've never heard a song from them where they're playing, their ability to play what they play, and not so much what they play, but how cleanly and how accurately and how well they play it, to the point where it's like squeaky clean, has always been very consistent and always top notch. And I have nothing but respect for these guys as musicians. It's evident especially when they do their unison work. Don't get me wrong, they're soloing when they get a chance to solo. It always sounds really nice. I always dig on their solos, but what really intrigues me with these guys is when they play in unison, whether it be guitar and keyboard, whether it be guitar and bass, whether it be keyboard and bass, whether it be guitar, keyboard, and bass, whatever the iteration, whenever they're playing in unison, the accuracy of the notes, always there. Accuracy of note placement is always there. Rhythmic patterns, always there. Speed and cleanliness, always there. They are top-notch musicians, and I will absolutely give credit where credit's due. Next on the list, songwriting. They consistently write good or great songs. I don't think I've ever heard a song from them that I've gone, this is a terrible song. No, I don't think that's ever happened. Every time these guys write a song, it makes sense, it sounds good, it flows well, it's pleasing to the ear. And what I really dig about their songwriting is, while there are times, and there are in every song that they've written that I can remember, there are times where things are a little predictable. You know, you can kind of see where it's going to go. But by the same token, there's also points in the song where you think you know where it's going to go, and then it doesn't go that way. So they're predictable in some things, they're not so predictable in other things. And it happens in every single song. Again, it's consistent, okay? I'm not saying their songwriting is weak. I'm not saying that, but I am saying that their musicianship is here and their songwriting is here. Okay? So their absolute top strength is their musicianship. Next strength would be their songwriting. Okay? It's not a weakness. It's just not as powerful as their musicianship. If there's any weakness to be had with this band, it's in the third thing. And this is where things are going to get really interesting. And I really hope people don't get offended by what I say. But if they do, that's honestly, it's on them. If there is any weak point in their armor, it's in their live show. Okay? Now, their live show has always been at least okay. All right. I have seen some performances from them where the live show isn't, it's not great. It's not fantastic. It's not up to the same standard that the songwriting is and the musicianship is. Here's the musicianship. Here's the songwriting. And sometimes the live show is here. 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 But it's never anything less than okay. All right? It's always in the positive. I don't think I've ever seen a bad live show from them. Now, having said that, in this case, musicianship is here, absolutely, top notch. Songwriting is here, absolutely, great job. If I'm being honest, their live show is about here. Not quite okay. I would put their live show on this one in the pretty goods, okay? I've seen much better live shows from them, if I'm being honest. But from a visual standpoint, I've seen much more engaging live shows than what we saw here. I've seen shows where there is a ton of stage interaction. I've seen live shows where there's a ton of crowd interaction. I've seen shows from these guys where there's a lot of showmanship and stage energy. Not so much in this one. Let's go down the checklist. You'll see what I mean. Stage presence. Yeah, that's a check. I mean, they look like performers. They act like performers, and that's always fun. I'm not worried about that one. Stage energy. There was, but it was really only coming from the lead vocalist and a little bit from the guitarist. Bass player pretty much stayed in his spot. Keyboardist obviously stayed in his spot because he's kind of a slave to his instrument. Same thing with the drummer. But when it came to the movement and motion, I would say probably about 80% of it was done by the lead vocalist. 20% of it was done by the guitar player. Not the best stage energy I've seen from them, if I'm being honest. Let's see. Next up, stage interaction. Was there any? Trying to think. I don't think there was. Was there? No, there really wasn't. There was no stage interaction. Nobody on stage interacted with each other during the course of the song. After the song was over, the guitar player came over and interacted with the drummer, after the completion of the song, and they were just holding that chord, getting ready to transition into the next song. But the song's already over by that point, so I'm not going to count that. Crowd interaction. Okay, this was there, but I've seen better from them. I've seen much more attention and much more effort given to crowd interaction in other performances from them than I saw here. The only one really doing any crowd interaction at all was the lead vocalist. Now, he did some, but again, I've seen him do way more. And in other performances, I've seen the bass player get involved with the crowd interaction. I've seen the guitar player get involved with the crowd interaction. Heck, I've even seen the keyboard player and the drummer get involved with the crowd interaction. I didn't see any of them do it. The only one I saw putting any effort into it was the lead vocalist, and even he was just kind of casually doing it. So I'm going to give that a check, but it's a weak check in comparison to other performances I've seen just from Galneryus. Forget about other bands, just by Galneryus' own standard. So yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of that one. Showmanship. Yeah, there were a couple of poses struck. There were a couple of times where there was some posturing done, but that's pretty much it. Again, I'll give it a check, but it's a bit of a weak check. Production. Was the lights were designed. I think the lights were designed. So I'll give that the check. So here's how this is breaking down. Musicianship, as always, outstanding. Okay. Songwriting, great. It was a great song. Okay, it was greatly written. The live show, if I'm being 100% honest, usually this is where I would say, a live show can help your score, it can hurt your score. In this case, it didn't help or hurt. It was kind of a non-factor. A number of weak points. There was one that it had a 0, but the stage presence was there. There was some production, so that's why we're not down in the negatives. We're not. It wasn't hurting the score, but I can't in good conscience say that the live show helped this. This was all down to the songwriting and to the musicianship. So the live show was a non-factor. Okay, so that 8.8 is for the musicianship and for the songwriting. Okay, I think the song was catchy. I like the feel of the song with that little bit of a shuffle feel to it. The chordal progression made sense. There were some times where it was kind of predictable and times it wasn't. Okay, it was all pleasing to the ear though. But what really stood out on this was the musicianship, the talent, the music. What was not so much what was played, but how it was played. Very clean, very accurate. Especially, like I said, the solos were nice. Don't get me wrong, but the unison work was, for me, where it was really at. So this is how we're coming up with that 8.8. I feel good about that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have an 8.8, which is a great skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and an A letter grade. Take your pick. I don't care. Whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.